All right, guys, welcome into the Ordinary Fantasy Pod, Week 18. This is it, the final week of the season, guys. The final week that we're here talking to you this season. My name is Ben Conroy. With me, as always, Nathan Boudreau, my brother Matt Conroy. I'm joined today by the two winners of our two leagues that we care about on a regular basis. Our main league champion, Sean, welcome in, and our Dynasty League champion, Bobby. No,
it's Nate.
This is awesome. Yes.
Then why is Bobby here?
For side
He
league.
won the fucking side league.
Why are you here, Bobby?
We're
Why are you
doing
here?
all of our championships, and Yep. And Nate's here for guillotine
see
too.
ya.
Okay, well,
Man, I loved how much that was a setup, though. I wish you would have just gotten that correct, because then it would have just truly been like, yeah, the two leagues we care about, we don't know why Bobby's here.
Yeah.
But,
Let's do it all over again. Let's do it all over.
No. Keep it
Either
going.
way,
Keep it going.
welcome in, guys. I don't know what's going on. I checked out 3 weeks ago, so that's all. I'm here just for you guys.
I didn't pick anyone up off waivers, is what you're saying. Anyways,
I did not pick anybody off waivers. I did not. But anyways, welcome in, Sean. Congratulations, Bobby. I guess the side league does matter. You're just a side piece. Side pieces are important. You know, they're just important.
Yes, they are.
And Nathan, congratulations on Dynasty. I guess. I skipped over Nathan because he just keeps winning that thing, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, and
anymore.
Nate also won Guillotine League.
Yeah.
So he's champ for that too. And I know it's not in our bubble, but there's another league I play with Bobby, and he won the championship there also. So he's actually a 2-time champ this year. I think that's never happened to him before. So congrats, Bob. Hell of a year.
Thank you. No,
I got a question for
time,
Nate.
We barely started on Sean, and Sean won the main league. Really, this should be a lot more about main league. Winning main league is huge, and congrats, Sean. A huge season and comeback at the end you had. Big time.
And as guest host, Bobby.
I feel like this was like a setup for one of Bobby's jokes or something. But I have a question for Nate. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it. But I got a question for you, Nate. You won 2 different leagues. Did you chop in either one of them?
I did not chop with Bobby in the Gilly. I was willing to do it when it was down to 3 players, but when it came down to 2 players, he offered again, and I did not respond. I did not decline him.
I noticed
just didn't respond.
I did
you have to
notice
make
that.
sure, just don't respond. And in the Dynasty League, I did not chop with Dre. No.
Okay. So
Good job,
for
Nate.
those
Good job.
for those who do not know, Bobby and I chopped up the side league pot, and Alex and I chopped up the main leagues pot. Funny thing about that is I offered it to Alex before the games had even started, and Braden actually told me no. And then CeeDee Lamb went off, and I still offered it again, which is why Alex gave the very respectful thank you to me. But what's most important is that I still won the league. So,
Well, with that being said, Sean, how do you feel about this championship having an asterisk and being the only championship on a 14-man league will ever do, and has its own standalone trophy as a 14-man championship league?
oh, is there an asterisk there? I was unaware.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a 14-man league. It has to be its own thing, right?
If anything, it's more challenging, right? So the asterisk
I'm
is
just goofing around. Congratulations.
I'd also like to go back to all the rhetoric of, oh, hey, I outperformed teams that were just playing poorly against me because I finished 3rd in breakdown and 3rd in points on the year.
I finished 1st in points and 1st in breakdown. Doesn't mean shit.
That's just unfortunate that you lost to me then in the playoffs.
I know, it
man.
doesn't mean shit.
How's that for an asterisk?
Yeah, having a 203, what was it, 203, 206 you did in the final game? That'll vault you up into the standings there. So
Yeah.
listen, and if you're gonna win the championship, that's the way you want to do it, right? You want to come in with the hammer, drop 200 points, and leave no doubt that you were the champ that year. Even though you weren't the biggest point scorer all throughout the season, in the final game you were, and that's all that matters. Unlike me, who in Dynasty put up a horrible performance, and it just happened to squeak by and limped into the championship with like 122 points. So
Yeah,
Right.
122 won it. I could have beat you it this week. Come on, man. Piece of cake.
Yeah, if
122.
anyone has an asterisk, it's Nate's Dynasty win.
Yeah,
Now,
Dynasty
amount of
asterisk.
points. If you look at the amount of points scored against him all year, the lowest out of everybody, like 500 less than mine. It's crazy.
Yeah, actually, Bobby, you and I, we flipped positions because in main league, side league, sorry, I think I had the best team, and I just
Yes.
happened to have a bad performance the week before. I blew both you and Sean out of the water this week in side league, and then in dynasty it was flipped, right? You would have killed me in dynasty, but
Yeah.
you got one and I got one, so
Yeah.
we'll
Oh
call
yeah,
it.
Bobby kicked my ass in the side league. Like I had every underperforming player that showed. Like my bench went off, but yeah. But I was going to ask earlier. Ben said he checked out of the league 3 weeks ago. I was asking how long ago he checked out of this podcast since we all just took over as hosts.
I'm good, man. I'm happy just sitting here listening to you guys chop it up. That's fine with me.
Why don't you
I had a
guys break down Gilly? What happened in that one?
Yeah, so Gilly, it came down to me and Bobby. Jeff got eliminated the week prior, and it wasn't even close. I mean, Bobby had probably one of the worst weeks that he's ever had. I think he had the lowest score. I looked at it. He had the lowest score of any person that got eliminated in like the last 10 weeks. Like he didn't even make it at all. Didn't even score 100 points, did you, Bob?
No, it was like 88.
88 points.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like early season scoring.
Yeah.
Was that the team that was always on top like the entire year? Was that the one that
No,
lost?
the one I lost like
Oh.
3 weeks before was the one that was always
okay.
always ahead. I was really bummed
Got
out.
it.
Bad week in that one, but
Yeah, Bobby was
it was fun.
He was congratulating me early, and I thought it was a jinx. But then I looked, and I was like, "Oh no, it's
Yeah.
over."
You guys really did mirror each other then this year. I mean,
Yeah.
Dynasty, same thing: low score, high score, low score, high score. Matt, yeah, I don't hear you giving Sean very much crap about the whole chop with the final pots.
Well,
of the-
I when he said it, I gave him thumbs down. But it's
Oh.
each person's prerogative. I think I wouldn't do it myself if I thought I was top dog or underdog. It's just not my style. I just wouldn't do it. So
No.
I was arguing it for last week before everybody decided to chop and that kind of stuff. But afterwards, I'm not going to try and I'm not going to rub his nose in it. God damn, you should have done it.
Yeah,
I just don't do it.
Listen, it's all in what is relative to people. There's a big swing in the main league from first place to second place. It's 1,600 or 400, right? And you kind of just look at it, and going into those games, Alex and I were evenly matched, right? It was kind of just like, I mean, I think he was favored slightly. But then even after CD went off on Thursday, like Alex still had Tyreek Hill, and I know they were going against Baltimore, but it very easily could have just washed that entire CD Lamb easily could have just done that. Mahomes could have revived to what Mahomes was before, right? He was forced to play Connor. I mean, thankfully for him, I guess, because Connor went off, right?
Yeah.
So I just made a business decision. I think that's really
All right,
and I feel like what we're playing for in this league is way more than that too, right?
Yeah.
So now we get draft location. Now I don't really care about the
let
costume
me ask
thing,
you this
but-
before you move on from the splitting the pots up. When you sent it the first time to Alex and Braden said no, and you sent it the second time. At the first one, when you sent it, was like, oh, I might lose, and the second one was like, oh, did your thought process change at all?
Well, my exact response to the first time that Braden rejected it was, that sounds like a response of someone who doesn't have a job. And that's what, and Alex agreed with me. I mean, I honestly think Alex was good with the chop. Like, I honestly do believe that Braden was just like, no. Right. And then, so when he said no, I was just kind of like, all right, then it is what it is. Right. And then it happened. Then CD had his game, and I was like, I felt confident about where I was at that point in time, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to offer it again. And if he says no, he says no, and that's totally fine. And so I basically didn't hear from him again until Sunday morning. I messaged him with like, hey, good luck today. Good luck. Let's go at like 9:30 or something like that. And he responded back with, offer still valid? And I said, yeah, till game time. And he goes, let me talk to Braden. And then Braden said, Braden's exact words were, we respectfully accept your offer. Is what he said. So
I think it was the Mostert news that sent them over the edge.
Yeah,
Once they realized Mostert was out, they said to themselves, let's go ahead and chop this up, especially looking at what CD did. But it's interesting because this is the first year that we had this payout structure. In previous years, there wasn't such a wide gap between first and second. And we came up with a new payout structure this year, and everybody unanimously said that they wanted it to be more top heavy. They wanted first place to be higher. Yes. As long as we have this payout structure, and I realize it won't be exactly the same when we go back down to 12, but with 16 and 4, every time I'm in the finals, I'm offering a chop, because that winning $400 after making all the way to the finals just feels like a kick in the junk. You know, I want to make at least $1,000, so I'm going to take that $1,000 every time I can get it. So I think Sean did the right thing. I actually was surprised that he offered it a second time though, because CD puts up 40 or 50 points. Mostert is declared out of the game. At that point, Sean had to be feeling pretty confident. But he stuck to his guns. He wanted the $1,000, and like he said, the most important thing is the name on the trophy, right?
Now he's a winner.
By the way, the name on the fucking trophy, the name I changed for my matchup against fucking Matt, whatever, week 3.
I love it, man. I've been thinking that. Yep, I love it.
Well,
it's kind of a slap in the face to Matt too, though. I mean, you took his team name,
Well,
tweaked it a little bit, and won. Right?
Here's the real thing: is it came from Alex's comment. He was mad at Nate and Ryan and Sean, I believe, calling them founding fathers. He was still mad about the trade and it all. So it came from Alex. So to beat Alex with a version of the team name that came from his comments, that's kind of good.
And it makes it so much better that I have no idea what Matt's talking about right now, and I literally only changed it.
And by the way,
whatever it is.
I think a lot of
did it because Alex made the comment. He said in one of his early season videos to us, "Fuck the founding fathers."
Oh, okay.
Referring to you guys and the
I
old
think,
guard.
Got it.
I think a lot of us considered Matt to be the favorite for large portions of this year. We talked about it on the podcast a lot. He was highest in points. He was winning all these games. He looked like he was unstoppable. So I think 15 years, 20 years from now, when we're looking back at this, we're always going to remember this as the year that Sean stole your team name and he stole your championship.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought, honestly, I don't throw out bullshit things like I did to Matt where I said, hey, too bad your season's ending, unless I think I'm going to lose. I totally thought I was going to lose to Matt that week. I was just like, hey.
That's so funny.
I mean, we should have known it's not a year ending in 9, so Matt can't win until really 2029.
Here's the thing. Honestly, if we think about it, the fact that I was able to get this far into the season, the playoffs and everything, with Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, and Tyler Lockett as my top 3 receivers. Well, until Bobby handed me Puka for nothing. But those guys, like Nate said when the season started, like those guys. And for me to be anywhere near championship with those 3 guys as my top 3 receivers, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Pretty
All right, let's talk about what's important. Let's talk about draft location. Sean, where are we going next year? Do you have any idea? What's on what's the plan?
Well, I said Branson, and then you guys all got fucking excited about it. I'm like, oh wait, maybe I don't want to go to Branson.
That Missouri, Missouri.
Yeah. Well, we never expected. That wasn't serious though, right? Yeah. So
I don't think that's actually happening. So I think that we need to iron down a date because it does make a difference. But people have tossed out New Orleans as an idea for me because I love that fucking city, and they'd probably be pretty high on my list of places to go. But I also don't like having to plan any of this shit. So, I don't know. I think New Orleans is probably the leading one because it's actually relatively, even if you're in California, pretty affordable to get to because there is a direct flight that you can take out of here to get there. But it's too close to Bobby. I kind of want to, make it a little more difficult for Bobby to get to the draft.
Well, remember, he's going to be coming from California that time of year. So,
so
it is hard for him.
He said he's going to change his vacation. So this is how excited people were about Branson. Megan texted me on the side to ask me if I was serious about the Branson suggestion, and I was like, "Hey, listen, I don't know."
What's the connection with Branson?
I thought you guys were joking the whole time. I thought there's no chance they're actually choosing Branson. They're just trying to make me think it's going to be close to me. Because that's like basically having an Arkansas draft. You guys say no Arkansas draft. That's an hour and a half for me.
Yeah. Hey, so Sean, we lucked out this year in August for draft season. It's actually a 5-weekend August instead of a 4-weekend August. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty much out the first 2 usually, unless I can work out some magic. I think, and kids go to school the last 2 weeks. I think if we shoot for that 3rd weekend, I think it might be golden. I mean, we rarely have 5 weekends in August. And, This might work out just perfect.
Yeah, so I'm out the. I guarantee that I'm out the 9th through the 11th, and I might be out the weekend after that. So that's I have to figure out what my fuul plans are.
Take the first weekend out for me. So
you guys want to come with me? We can have the draft in Europe if you want to do that.
That was Nate's thing last year. He goes, just tag along our family vacation. Come on.
If
It
Sean
worked
does
out
do
good.
a New Orleans draft, would this be the first time since we had the winner picks location that somebody picked a location outside of their own home state?
Matt picked California, didn't he?
Yeah,
Okay.
Matt picked California.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, that one counts.
But this would be the first technical destination draft for the winner, right? Like, technically speaking, I know Matt picked California, and we know the reasons behind that. But like, this would be the first like, let's go on a vacation destination type draft, right, for the winner.
Yeah, hey Bobby, you're not having any more babies, okay? Because last time I won this fucking thing, I had it in Indio because you couldn't make it or some shit. I don't remember, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That was our first one. That was 2016.
Did Bobby confirm no more babies, or was that confirmed or not?
Well, no, Sean's confirming for him.
Yeah.
Bobby's
he
not.
still hasn't said
Bobby's not
no. So
Is Bobby's audio off? What, Bobby's
It's definitely been cut off. That's for sure.
okay.
The audio or your wiener?
having any more babies has definitely been cut off.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
But that
August.
weekend, so that second weekend, Sean, you're saying it out, the 9th through the 11th. The third one is the one Matt was talking about. That's the 16th through the 18th. And he's right.
So
There's 5 weekends there in that August. So
Yeah,
that's
the 9th
middle.
through the 11th, I'm for sure gone, but I'm tagging on to the end of the trip, so I might not be back the weekend after that either.
Yeah, that's gonna be August is gonna be tricky, man, because our kids start school early. I hate
July drafts, guys. I fucking hate July drafts.
August is gonna be tricky.
We've never had a problem with it. We've
Sean
had
already, or
they've always worked.
Steve already said that August isn't good for him the whole month. So
Steve says it's a bad time for Steve to do anything at any point in time.
I know.
And then he's there. So let's not
let's lock in Labor Day. Like I always say, nobody will ever do.
If it is going to be New Orleans, though, that is something you have to plan in advance. It's not like on a whim, a month in advance. You got to, we need several months to lock in our Airbnbs and travel plans, flights, figuring out how everybody's going to get there. So the sooner the better.
So are you saying that would be the last weekend of July, the 27th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, Monday? That last weekend in July? Why not? If that works.
I think I'm out that weekend. July.
God, this is great.
This is great podcasting. All right, we'll work this out later.
Sean's out now. He's gone. All right. Well, Bobby, you got anything to say about your win in side league? I mean, something to talk about? Are you excited? Are you was it a challenge for you? Are you looking forward to? Are you guys doing it again next year?
I mean, I don't typically like the 2 quarterback superflex kind of league. I mean, I like how we have it in Dynasty, but in other leagues, I don't. Both the sleeper leagues that I played in were 2 quarterback leagues or superflex.
And you won both.
And I won both of them. So, yeah, I actually had a really fun year with those sleeper leagues. Can't believe I had a chance and got knocked out in Dynasty. Can't believe I had a chance. It was so fun lasting that long in Guillotine. And that I've been saying for 2 years is my new favorite way to play. Even last year, being out, the second week and the 4th week, super early, that was my favorite new way. Guillotine is the best new way to play, and it was a really fun year all around.
Nice,
Bob,
man.
you won 2 championships, but you were really in play for 4.
I was in 4 finals.
You were in play for 4.
Yeah.
And hey, this other league outside of our league that we play in, you and I came in 1st and 3rd. That was a fun little thing to do.
Dude, that league was
dude,
so
you
fun.
were all over it.
You
You
told
were all
right?
over football this year.
Superflex, 6 IDP, so 2 defensive backs, 2 linebackers, 2 defensive linemen. It was hairy. That draft was hairy. And
who were the other 3 people in the league?
So it was actually a 10-man league that they couldn't find people to play with. I found them on Sleeper. I brought in Megan and Bobby.
Okay.
And hey, we took 3 of the top, 2 of the top 3 spots. That's fun.
Got it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Nice. I also wanted to. Oh, go ahead, Nate.
No, I was going to give an update. I didn't really talk about this much in the high stakes thread, but After the season was already over and we had realized that we'd been kicked out of high stakes, I saw that there was a rule on there that there was actually a loser tournament, and the winner of the loser tournament gets $500. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not going to make this public. I'm just going to try and win it. I'm going to do my best. Waivers are closed. You couldn't even pick anybody up. They shut down free agency. And I thought, I'm just going to try my best, win this thing, and I'm going to surprise these guys if we win it. We're chopping $500. And we came 7 points shy of winning.
No.
Damn.
That'd have been cool. That'd be cool.
Well, that is crazy. Bobby, I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about what your venture you've taken on this year with us on this podcast, and how much we appreciate Bobby's Can of Worms here this season. And what has it meant to you to do this with us? And moving forward, I mean, can you give us kind of a little glimpse into what you got going on coming up?
I mean, you see the you see the logos? You see
No.
the logos back here?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
You see it? You see it got a
Nope.
little thing right here?
Just say yes. Yes, Bob. You look great.
Yeah. Oh, the logos.
I got
Yeah.
things
Got
going on.
it. Oh.
No, I've had a lot of fun. You know, I'm in the middle. I'm like knee deep trying to edit something that I've been working on for a while. It's just like such a big snowball, but I've had a lot of fun with all the different things and trying some new ventures from it all. And yeah, I've gotten a real kick out of this little outlet. Yeah, it's been good.
Are you going to keep going to the open mic
on
nights?
let me give something to Bobby.
Keep doing
real quick,
what?
because I spend a lot of time shitting all over Bobby. So let me just give something to Bobby. I think most of you guys haven't gotten what he sent out yet, but I was the first one to get it. And at first, when he sent out that I was the first one, I was like, oh God, what the fuck did Bobby send? Right. And maybe by the time this is put out there, most people will get it. It's really fucking cool. And even as I was opening it, I was like, okay, but like as I looked through it, I think that it's really cool. It obviously was put a lot of thought was put into it, and providing this to all of us was really special. Even my wife looked at it and she was like, oh, this is really cool. So thank you, Bobby. And when everyone else sees it, we can talk about it or whatever. I think most of you guys know what it is.
Is it a calendar?
But huh?
Is it a calendar?
I mean, will it be to everyone by the time this is published or no?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, most people say tomorrow are being delivered.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah,
It's a calendar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I had a feeling because Bobby texted me and said, hey, are your kids' birthdays this? And he had all three of them right.
But
And I was
that's the fucking best part, dude. Like, every one of our family members' birthday is in this fucking thing. Sorry, I don't want to spoil it. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling. Hopefully everyone gets it by the time
That's
this
bitchin'.
gets out. Right? But that's the amount of thought and everything that went into it was really, really cool. So just wanted to compliment you on that,
It-
Bobby.
it
I've
was
always
funny.
wanted
Not
to get
off the pod. Because
Yeah,
that's
don't do it. Don't pull it.
but
That's a bit.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about it a couple weeks ago on the podcast about a possible thing for the changing up the rivalry week. We had already started messing with that a couple weeks before. I think a few weeks before, I had sent something out saying everybody put the draft party picks into the shared drive or something. I kind of figured some of that would give it away, but yeah, we had this idea a while ago that we wanted to do. Megan's actually got a really cool idea about something for next year along the lines with what you guys were talking about, doing one for the rivalry week or some kind of thing. But anyways.
No one can say that shit. Rivalry.
Rivalry week.
Guys,
We all want to say Wasco we rival now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
Well,
thank
anyways,
you, Bobby. I appreciate you putting that together. I can't wait to get mine when I get home. I might see Adam actually tomorrow, so maybe I'll get a chance to see his before I get home. So.
I'm gonna
I'm
go.
just so happy I don't have to buy a calendar every year going forward because I can just expect this one to show up yearly. It's beautiful, Bob. I love it.
I can't wait to get it. Can't wait to look at it.
I was
There
hoping
we-
you were just sending me that other calendar that Nate shared. What was it? The kid from the
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I thought we were just getting Jonathan Taylor Thomas calendar.
Dude, okay, so one of my friends at work loves JTT, and I tried to buy one. They're nowhere to be found, dude.
Oh shit!
Anywhere. She would have
How old is
flipped
this
out.
friend?
She would have flipped out.
That came off your mouth, off your tongue so quickly, so easily.
She
JT.
talks
Jonathan
about
Taylor
all the
Thomas
time.
came
She
out of your
loves that
mouth
guy.
so easily.
How old is this friend of yours that loves Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Kristen's 38, something like that. 30, close to
She's
40.
still all these years she's been holding a torch for JTT, huh?
JTT.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Bobby,
Yep.
do you have a digital version of this calendar that like a Google calendar, so I can just put it? Don't have to actually. I can just hang it up and not pay attention to it. But now I can finally remember my friends' birthdays because it would shock you that I don't have a lot of your birthdays in my calendars.
I don't know if there's a way to do that, but I'm sure I could screenshot each page from. It was just Shutterfly.
Don't do that. I'll go through and update my Google calendar.
Hey, Sean,
And
I
then
have
will
a
you send it to all of us,
question
Sean,
on,
please, when you do?
I have a follow-up question on New Orleans. Is that, in your mind, boys only trip, or is that wives come, or obviously not families, right?
Right.
Obviously,
So,
Bobby.
my wife will more than likely be there, but she probably doesn't care about if she's off doing her own thing the entire time. Yeah, Bobby's family will be there no matter what.
Yeah.
Actually, mine has already said that if it's New Orleans, they probably would send me alone.
What?
It's locked in.
No way.
Locked in.
Wow.
I get the sense
Looking
that
Expedia.
that's like right now. Is she sitting right next to you?
No,
There's a
the
hand
funny-
signal for that. You know, if you're in danger, you
The,
just
the funny
Say the
thing
safe
is,
word, Bob.
you guys talking about Branson, I mean, has obviously gotten us so hyped up here, if that was possible. Again, at the beginning, I thought it was just a joke to like make me think that was going to be that close, but that would be so cool. But yes, that would be a more family thing. There's something for everybody in that town, but I've told her that your first choice is for New Orleans. And
That's what we always say about Branson, right? There's something for everybody in Branson.
Branson's
wait,
a
hold on.
cool town.
There's-
T-shirt.
no, what the fuck.
I have
There's
the bumper sticker. Something for everything.
I would see that New Orleans is a lot less family friendly, but there are still things to do besides party in New Orleans as well, because it is a really cool town with a lot of history and a lot of great things going on besides it. I mean, it's not Disneyland, right? But or I'm sorry, it's not Branson. But the only thing I know about Branson, I'm not like, I know that Yakov Smirnoff is there. That is why I made the joke. There's no other thing I know about Branson, Missouri besides that. When I was talking to Alex about chopping the pot, I was like, he's like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's go to Branson. Like, let's just tell everyone we're going to go to Branson. And so we just kind of rolled with that. I got a feeling it would be very expensive to get to Branson for the out of towners that aren't Bobby, because I don't think there's a direct way to really get there. Like, I don't know where you fly into,
There isn't.
where you would drive to. Like, you'd have to drive once you get there. And then you'd be like, okay, there's a theme. I know there's like a theme park. There's all these things, but it just seems like it would be a big headache to get there.
I feel like you should just squash the Branson thing now so Bobby can get it out of his head that we're not coming to Branson.
In Branson. It's definitely not happening.
Right.
Babe, we're not going to Branson.
I mean, you guys can go. It's only an hour and a half drive for you.
I mean, you're
Oh,
probably
we go-
now going.
We've already been. We've gone a couple times. We're going probably 3 or 4 times a year now. It's
All right.
right around the corner.
I just
All right.
texted the group. We're not going to Branson. So
Nice.
Was it
I
in
have a
Dynasty
follow-up
thread?
question,
I have to
for
put it
Sean
in
as well, or
Dynasty
for all of
thread.
you guys. Regarding Sean's story about how when he offered the chop to Alex, and it wasn't Alex's decision, it was Braden's decision. And we know that Justin is sharing a team with his son. Now Alex, it seems, is maybe sharing some decision making with his son. How long is it before half of this league is sharing a team with their son? I mean, it's got to be Frankie's only a couple years behind, right? Is that the direction we're moving in?
Well, the
I'm
ones of
never
us
gonna
who
share
are
it with my son.
can make sons, that might happen for us.
Matt's not sharing it with his son.
No, I mean Charlotte would. It doesn't have to be.
I mean, I haven't met him yet. He could be out there. I don't know. He might be really good at fantasy football. Fuck.
How many of us are there with sons? Me, Bobby, Nate, Alex.
He's
Well, hold on.
changing his thing.
Only
He's-
men
he's-
can't
his
produce
chi-
all
he-
women
he
like
meant-
they
he meant
should.
child. He doesn't have any sons.
No, I
He
know.
meant
I'm just
children.
teasing him. I'm just teasing him. I'm teasing
Listen,
him. Yeah.
Charlotte won our fantasy league. Okay, our family league.
Nice.
Yes, and it was her and Portia in the finals. And you guys may remember, Charlotte had a horrible draft. She took all 49ers, like the first
I
five.
don't remember.
She took all 49ers, but because she had CMC and she had Debo and she had Purdy, it worked out for her, right? Like, who takes
Yeah.
in the second round? But if that's the direction we're moving in, and it's going to a point where everybody's inviting their children to be a co-manager, Charlotte would be the first person that would sign up and say, "I want to be part of that league." So,
Oh,
I don't
she's
think you would. I don't think you would let her be your co-manager. I don't think you would
at
like,
some point.
you might, like Jake actually has input. Like Braden is always there at the draft. He's yelling things out. You might be like, okay, Charlotte, you can help, but you're not gonna. You're too much of a control freak about your own fantasy team. You're
Why
not
don't
gonna.
you guys
let
just
her
start
do
a
it.
children's degenerate league?
Listen, picture Succession.
There's a good idea.
Picture Succession, right? That's how I picture the fantasy league in the future. At some point, Charlotte's going to be trying to lobby for that position.
Guys,
Well, my
I've got
kids are
it.
gonna keep
We're
their ex for like the
done-
next
we're
10
done.
years.
We're worried about. Let's get Dre back in the thread. We're gonna. We have to relegate a team. They're gonna get relegated to the children's league, right? Okay, and they get relegated to the children's league. And then, hey, they might win the children's league. They might not. Charlotte might be in the league next year. But I think that's only fair as to how we deal with the relegation.
That's
you
right.
have to win the children's league. At some point, there's going to be like 4 dudes in the children's league.
Yeah.
God damn it,
So
Charlotte!
angry.
Trade
Getting
me.
so angry about how many years we've spent focused on things and then just getting beat by like Amelie not changing a thing on her team for the entire year or something. Like you're just like, oh man, like
Those Chuck E. Cheese drafts are going to be lit.
Dude, I couldn't get it out of my mouth fast enough, dude. I was like, the draft parties for those ones are going to be.
oh shit. There you go, Matt. Thanks for the idea. Appreciate it.
Well,
Chuck E. Cheese draft.
Legacy
another way to think
League.
about
I love it. It's Legacy League. Degenerate Legacy League.
Another way to think about it, though, is if a lot of, and it, obviously it doesn't have to be mandatory, but if a lot of the fathers start sharing a league with their child, as we get older, there's going to be a time where maybe you pass the team off to them, right? Or maybe you die and your team, your over.
Well, we're all
Maybe.
going to die.
At some
Maybe
point,
you
we're all-
die. Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe,
Just
maybe.
maybe. You die.
That's a little too hopeful there, Nate.
Right? Like,
Eventually,
Hopefully you
one of
die.
them, they'll start taking over the podcast. They'll start doing the podcast. It'll continue on. The Degenerate Legacy
They better
will
hurry up.
continue on generation after generation. And Ordinary Fantasy Pod will live on into perpetuity forever.
There you go. Sure.
Sure, Bobby.
the
I don't know if
problem
it's
is,
gonna.
maybe
I don't know if it's gonna.
though.
I don't know if it's gonna make it to next season. To be
Yeah.
honest.
I mean, think about it. We've got this trip every year. This trip again is what brings us all together every year. Our kids always are going to go. I mean, this is going to keep going for 20, 30. Hopefully, we're around another 50, 60 years each.
60
right?
years, Bob? Come on. Be realistic.
I mean,
You're gonna live to 130
130
years?
Come on.
You're already 50, Bob.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude.
Tack on 60 on top of
I
110.
am not
Bobo.
50
7 years
yet.
old.
I am not 50 yet. I have another couple years until I'm 50. So 50 at least.
Oh, my
Dude.
bad. You're right. 105 is much more plausible than 110.
Listen,
Like,
if I have 30 summers left, I'd be amazed.
Yeah.
That put me at 79.
You
30
sound
summers
like-
at most.
Let's just enjoy the time we have now and stop talking about
Yeah.
this.
I was gonna say, you sound like Dad right now, dude. Come on.
It's true.
I think that the Austin trip to whatever was that 2 years ago when it was just the boys, when we
Mhm.
had that cool house where we all had our own room and shit like that. Like I think
Yeah.
that was one of our better drafts that we've had. And that's not
That
me
was
saying I
fun.
don't like people's families. I love being around everyone's families. It's not, I love doing that. But I do think that, listen, how many of us were married when this league started? Matt?
None of
Aliens.
us.
Matt
Right,
was
so
I mean, I
basically-
wasn't living with her, anymore, but I was still married.
We basically wrote into our marriages. Like we
Well,
are
Alex-
allowed to go on a bachelor party every year. Like we have,
Yeah.
we basically have that in like, hey, sorry, we do this. We have to do
It
this.
used to be when we did Vegas.
The funny thing
Yeah.
is, it was never the debauchery of a bachelor party. It was always just
No,
like
never.
a bunch of dudes hanging out. We would gamble a little bit,
And it doesn't need to be that, but it's also
Never.
nice to not. I'm not going to say anything. People's wives watch this shit. So
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
families. Yes, go families.
Yeah, we went to church every Sunday at the draft.
way to back sell this,
Yeah.
Nate. That's all I'm trying to say. It was it was totally family friendly. We love you guys, and so guys, I think we've been talking for a while. Final thoughts moving forward to the next year. Sean, you got anything you want to talk about moving forward?
So I mean, I guess I just don't know because I might have missed the episode or whatever. So it's definitely Dre that's out. We're a 12-person league, and Dre is leaving along with Adam, or
Adam
I don't
seemed to
know.
leave. Yeah.
I still think that there's a small chance that Adam will change his mind. So we would stay at 14 if that's the case. If Adam changes his mind, I'll see him tomorrow. Maybe over a couple of drinks, we'll have a talk about it. There's a chance that might happen. But no, if we go to 12, I think that's probably most logical. Is that Dre's gonna go back to
Well, he left the thread. Like I was like, okay, all right, well, later.
When did
He
he
didn't
do
even
that?
set his
I didn't
lineup.
notice.
Didn't even set his lineup.
He left.
Sean,
the
is this
thread.
your
No,
second championship?
This is my
Talking about
second.
Adam left the thread.
My
not
second championship. I think it's like my 4th Degenerate Bowl or something like that. If I lost, I was gonna be like fully just be the Buffalo.
When was
Bills.
your last championship?
2016.
was the
2016.
draft, so it was
Oh, so
2015.
2 and 7 years. Okay, nice.
2015 league champion.
8
Oh,
years.
15.
2015.
Okay, 8 years.
8 years.
And then I was in the championship last year, but then that whole heart attack thing. And then but I was in 16 too against an 8. So yeah, I've been in a couple, but
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, you've been more competitive over the last decade than you were previous. So maybe Rachel had some calming effect on you, and now you're better at fantasy football because of it. Is that
yes.
unrelated?
Yes.
Nice job.
Yes. Look at the hand gestures. Puts the thumbs
Oh.
up there. Hey.
More importantly, though, we have a couple of guys on the screens here. We got Matt who has 2, Bobby has 2, Sean now has 2. So Ben, when are you going to get your second one?
Soon, totally. I'm on it.
What year did Ben last win?
1995.
If he waits one more year, he can have the 20-year anniversary of his.
95. Yeah.
30. It would be
It's
30.
been a while. It's been a while.
He didn't win in 95.
He didn't win in
guys.
95.
I think
I'm like,
he's
there's
in
no way.
Graduated high school in
Yeah, I
95.
know.
Like it's not.
It's how long it's felt, Sean. It's felt like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, five.
I need Tom Brady to come back into the league, and I don't know. I felt like I had a good chance this year. I just had some few things go bad. I lost my quarterback. Kirk Cousins went down. He was having a great start to the year, and had some other pieces that Eckler kind of shit the bed a little bit this year that I thought would do better for me. I don't know. I'm turning around the draft next year, guys.
I started Gardner
I'll be there.
Minshew multiple times this year. Just so you.
Yeah. Well, look at you. You're the man. What can I
By the
say?
way, Justin Fields.
Congratulations.
Justin Fields, you had him on your championship squad, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Justin Fields, I made that trade in Dynasty, and I would not have won Dynasty without him. So,
Yeah.
yay, Justin
I
Fields.
also had DeMarcus Robinson and Chig on my championship. Thank you, CD. Thank you, CD Lamb and Isaiah Pacheco. I appreciate everything that you've done. I appreciate your hard work.
That's one of those years where that guy helped you win
And
it.
I
right?
would not have had Pacheco if I didn't trade away AJ Brown.
Yeah.
So that was one of the
What a
questions
year.
I was gonna come up, try and wrap it up with, was what you think helped get you there, and you kind of just said it. CeeDee Lamb was kind of your golden ticket that helped over these last few weeks, I think. Really
He was
pushed-
insane
pushed-
from start. I mean,
yeah.
he had like a couple down weeks, but I mean,
Mhm.
I think essentially whenever I traded AJ Brown, which was like week 6 or something like that, I mean, CeeDee Lamb was just on a ridiculous tear. It was absurd. It was like right around the same time that Bobby traded Dak for nothing. And Dak was just like shining.
Puka for Miles
It
Sanders.
was all I had to do was go like, oh, CD put up 30 something. Okay, I should be good this week, right? It was like, and for a while there, it was him and ETN, and like ETN showed up again in the championship game as well, right? And he hadn't shown up in like 3 or 4 weeks leading up to that. So it just everyone kind of played well, I guess.
I think there's a legitimate argument for CeeDee Lamb with his age and this year's production and his draft pedigree. I think there's a legitimate argument that he is up there in the conversation with Justin Jefferson as the number 1 dynasty wide receiver now. I don't think there's any doubt next year that going into dynasty, people are going to be looking at him in the same class as Jefferson and Chase, which is,
Look
what a
how
lot of
happy
us
Bobby
expect.
is.
Well, who's throwing the ball to Jefferson?
Bobby's glowing.
I agree with you. I mean,
What happened?
Who's throwing the ball at Jefferson?
yeah, who's throwing the ball to Jefferson?
Oh,
It'll
we
be
don't know yet.
He may be
It'll
way
be-
above him next year, depending on who's throwing the ball. Not way
I mean,
above, but
It'll be the same guy. It'll be Cousins again, probably.
Probably.
They
yeah.
should trade for Derrick Henry. I think he's a better quarterback than most of those guys that played in Minnesota.
Well, it was
Well,
on
two
this
touchdowns
podcast
this year?
last year. We talked about somebody traded CeeDee Lamb, and I gave it an F. And I believe, Matt, you said I was a little bit too harsh.
now,
said-
I traded him, I think.
Yeah, well, you said my
Yeah.
F grade was too harsh on you.
Yeah, it was.
But now, obviously, it's clearly that was a bad trade, right? CeeDee Lamb is in another stratosphere, and could go for 2 first-round picks at this point, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking Dynasty now.
Yeah,
I did not
Dynasty.
trade him in Dynasty, no.
No,
Somebody
that-
didn't trade him in Dynasty. I
that
think
was my
Megan
wife.
traded it to Bobby. I think it was
Yeah,
a
I
bunch of
thought you were
collusion
saying
down
Megan.
there in the Hab household is what happened.
That's right. I remember that.
Well, you
I remember
remember
that.
when that started? It started earlier when I was trying to get him from Joe, and Megan poached my trade with Joe.
That's right. I
Again.
remember that too. Yeah.
That's right. I gave Joe an F, and Matt said I was too harsh. That's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
funny.
Matt, what were you talking about?
I
Where
thought
did
he was
you
talking
trade
main
him?
league. I thought he was talking main league. When did he switch to Dynasty? He never said he switched leagues.
He basically got almost 3. He got 2
He
first
didn't
rounds
say
and
he
a second
switched
round pick.
leagues. What the
That
fuck?
was just like, that's me. It was me. It was definitely me.
Man. Well, congratulations, Sean. Congratulations, Bobby. Nate, also Dynasty and Guillotine double winner. Man, you guys had a great year, and look forward till next year, guys. This is a lot of fun. Matt, you got any closing thoughts for us?
Congratulations, guys. Good season.
Yeah, Nathan, wrap it up for us, bro.
Let me give you guys my money line. No, I don't have anything. It was this was fun, guys. This was a nice little change up to the pod, doing a roundtable with all the winners. I'm last week's pod, I said that I hoped it would be Bobby and Sean on with us, and it was. So it turned out exactly the way that I had hoped, and it was good talking to you guys. It was fun.
All right.
Yep.
See you guys in Colorado.
So
Colorado.
We're not doing the season-ending roundtable where everybody, like, I go back and look at the one from last year where it was like there was like 8 of us or 10 of us. Alex was on. Adam showed up. Everybody was on. We're not doing that. This is the one. This is the last one, or what? This is the last one for the season.
Way to let it down at the end, Bob. This is all you guys are doing, huh? That's it? All right. See ya.
And now the 5 of us who actually listen to the podcast, we will go back and watch ourselves talk for the next.
Don't forget about Jeff. Jeff watches. Jeff
Oh,
watches.
yeah.
All right. Sorry to let you down, Bob.
Let's call Jeff.
We
Let's see
gotta
what he's
go.
up
We
to.
gotta go back.
Yeah, get Jeff on here. Let's do another hour. Get Jeff on here real quick.
We'll come back next week and we'll do this again. Bobby, send out the guest list. We'll see if we can get anybody on.
Don't
We should
start
be
it.
doing
You
this
know
once
this
a
is the
week.
last pod we're ever doing together. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't. This is it. This is it. Never,
This is
never
it?
talking again.
Wow, man.
Wow.
Throwing down the gauntlet. All right, well, we love you guys. Thank you for being here and appreciate you. And I guess that's a wrap on the Ordinary
guys.
Fantasy Pod, guys. See you next season.
Check it out.